Welcome back to West Tennessee. We're over here on a little knob of a hill, as you can tell. Some prime real estate. But we're addressing some issues today. Robert and I picked this farm up last spring, and we didn't have any time to get any work done to it. We just kind of had to plan it as is. But probably the worst thing about this farm is that right there. We got the Grand Canyon right through the middle of our field. Pretty good rise there. Real good rise there. And in the valley, that water's been running down through our as you can tell, it's just been kind of zigzagging down the hill. The beans we had on this farm did not do worth crap. But running the ripper last fall and digging with this track hoe helped us to realize a lot of the problem. That old soil was compacted as all get out. It was hard as a darn rock. So we come over here and ripped it. We ripped the two fields. We ripped everything except this field where we're going to do the dirt work here. So as soon as we get this dirt work done, we're going to rip it. And then all that other ground, we're going to rip it again. I intend for some roots to get down in the soil this year. I just, digging with that old track hoe, I don't see how the beans made what they did. It's all that a 30,000 pound track hoe can do to get that ground ripped up. Someone has tried to address some of these issues in the past. You see that carpet, there are some things called carpet dams you can build. I'm just not much of a believer in them. You see that red dirt right there? That's just pure sand, red sand. You can see how much dirt we got. We got about 2 or 3 foot of dirt here on the top of this sand. So we don't want to be losing that good ground, that good dirt, and be farming sand. So we're going to address these issues. I've done got dug out up there where our standpipe is going to start. So what we're going to do at this point is, you see how that ditch zigzags down through there? I'm just going to take that track hoe and pull these humps out of the center and just make it a straight line down there. We're going to lay out our pipes, and we're going to have us a standpipe every 100 foot, because that's just the way our pipe works out. And we've done one big project like this in the past, fixing stuff, and man, it just worked fantastic. So our first standpipe will be right there, our track hoe setting. Second one 100 foot down the hill. Third one 200 foot down the hill. And then we'll have another 100 foot of pipe on the end of it, letting that water exit out in the woods instead of out in the field. So that is what we are doing. Let's get started.
We got a pretty big project to work on. Pretty big ditch. Maybe we can get her fixed. What Dylan's doing now is he's straightening up this ditch. That way we can lay our pipe and it'd have a straight run. Looks like an old piece of carpet or something. But went to NRCS this morning, got our pipe and stuff. A little over $1,000 sitting up there on top of that hill. We got our 4650 and new pan. Gonna get to try it out today. But he's straightening up this ditch. I'm gonna go up here, get my risers and tees and start staking it down and start rolling out some pipe. First inaugural run of the pan. It'll take him a couple of loads to get it figured out.
especially the cut where I can adjust it better.
See if I got it. Go back down. There she goes. Third loading, about turned it over.
Okay guys, I'm gonna try attempt to talk to y'all. So I know this old tractor's loud, and I ain't got my mic. But we'll just see how it turns out. We're roughing out our third basin. Long gradual cuts when I build these. I don't like to gouge the ground. I like to keep a consistent cut depth where we don't get unevenness. Got two levers I work. Number 2 is my gate and number 1 is my height and the dump, bucket dump. So I got a load in right now. I ain't been packing this pan just plumb full. So ground's a little wet, and when I pack it plumb full, it don't want to unload. But as I come to unload here, I'll start pulling back on my gate, let that dirt fall out, and then I'll grab my bucket and start dumping my bucket. Get it dumped, I'll push it down until I feel it hit. I'll just go on and leave my gate open, so it'll be open for the next cut. I'll shift down one gear and throttle back a little. That helps me to get my cut height kind of set. When I get my cut height kind of like I want it, dump at a faster speed. But I like you kind of grab these both at the same time and start dumping. You know, I don't know if John Deere designed them like that on purpose or not, but you can take, you know, you can do them levers however you want to with one hand. Pretty snazzy. I know when, you know, when you pick it up after you make your cut, you gotta do them in opposite directions, and when you dump, you do them in the same direction. I got to talking to y'all and got to missing where I was gonna make my cut. I kind of figured out that if I lay my tire right down beside the last cut, the weight of that pan will follow right along the last cut, and it'll, you know, we'll be cutting the full width of the pan evenly across there. I was kind of worried about this pan on the beginning about it being too big for my tractor, but in my opinion, it's just right. It's like a match made in heaven. Now, I'm not just packing it plumb full of dirt. But I know I'm getting 6 yards. No, maybe getting 7 on it. So I'm pretty confident we're running. Pretty confident we're picking up 6-7 yards every dump. I know we're moving the dirt a lot faster than what we would be with the old pan. One thing I am a little disappointed in, it does like to rock around some when you dump it. I thought it would be a little more stable than what it is. If y'all see me looking up, it's because I'm looking at the mirror. I can watch that dirt pan in my mirror and not have to be turning around all the time. I got about one more cut left this direction. I gotta move y'all out the way. Y'all was sitting right there. We're fixing to start building this third one. Kind of eyeballing the situation. We'll take all this dirt from in front of the pipe and pile it behind it, and then there's some silt down there that come out of this ditch. We'll probably pick it up and pile it on some of these basins. But don't that look a lot better than that old big giant ditch? when you cross where that ditch was and your tractor start coming back up the hill, it dumps some dirt where that old ditch was, and instead of it being super steep, it's you know, you got just a nice gradual slope there. Driver will grade that, then he'll grade it some more, and then he'll grade it some more. We want this just as nice and smooth as possible. Right there you can see where the ditch was. That's how deep it was, and then that's how much dirt we've moved. I know we got a lot of dirt here, but this one here really ain't gonna hold a lot of water, because you know it's probably gonna come to the edge and then it'll pond up right around here in like a semicircle. But one thing that helps with doing it the way we do it, we got all them pipes tied together, so the water's gonna go on out there to the end before any water starts filling up here, so that really helps. They got newer, more modern stuff, but ain't nothing I'd rather drive more than one of them. By golly, they got levers, all mechanical, simple. Work on them. They're paid for. They sound awesome. They get the job done. The list goes on and on.